Hey there, happy 4th, everybody. For those of you in the United States, that is, happy 4th of July. Everybody else, happy 4th of July somewhere around the world. It is the 4th of July, and it is kind of overcasty here in Texas. We had a storm come through last night, so it's actually like this wonderful temperature out here this morning. And it's just nice out here. And so, and I've got quite a day planned with my little munchkins and all that good stuff. So, just kind of chilling, not doing any major partying or anything, because that's not really my cup of tea on holidays like this. But it definitely, just to get together with family, with friends, socialize, enjoy life. That is what the doctor has in store for my household. Just some good laughs, good connection, lots of joy, fun, that kind of stuff. So, hope that the 4th of July is definitely going to be something like that for you too, or whatever you have planned. Go enjoy this beautiful day. But, I actually contemplated not doing a conscious coffee today or doing one much later in the day, just because it's 6 a.m. on the 4th of July, and who the heck is going to be up on 6 a.m. on the 4th of July in the United States? Everybody's going to be up late, not early probably. A lot of people have today off. But I decided no. I did conscious coffee on Christmas. I did conscious coffee on Easter. Well, actually, no, I didn't do it on Easter, but I did it on Christmas. I did conscious coffee on New Year's. I've done conscious coffee on other days, so why not do conscious coffee on the 4th of July? And as I was sitting here trying to figure out, what is the topic of today? What am I going to discuss? And I just heard loud and clear in my heart the message of always be a yes. Always be a yes. And what does that mean? Now, here I am, where over the last 10 years, my focus has been on sex and relationship. And I teach boundaries, and I teach safe words, and I teach all these different things. And one of the things that I have been teaching is to, that you have to respect a person's yes or a person's no. Like, just allow them to be. And then here I am, changing my gears from that heavy focus of sex and relationship, and as fun, as sexy as those topics can be, I'm kind of changing gear this year. And I'm moving into more, alignment and law of attraction and abundance, overall orgasmic living, instead of just focusing in on the bedroom. How do you have that orgasmic life? And much like with sex and relationship, it is always be a yes. Always be a yes. Well, in sex and relationship, I would actually say, if you really got really to know me, I would say always be a yes. But then I would finish it up with always be a yes to you. Always be a yes to you. And this is by far one of the biggest rules, you could say, that we need to really take in, no matter what we're dealing with. So, whether it is in the bedroom, it is with, you're trying to create an orgasmic life, you're wanting a really healthy body, you're wanting to take care of yourself, you're looking at different job opportunities, different things going on. And what it is that you always want to be a yes to you. So that sometimes means that you're going to have to listen to your no's and actually say no where you would typically say yes. Or you might have to say, no, I'm actually going to speak my truth here, which is what being a yes to you always is to always speak your truth. And that doesn't necessarily mean to verbalize your truth, but to hear your truth, know your truth, and allow it to be seen and experienced in multiple ways. So if you're a no to something, that means that you're definitely a yes to you. Always be a yes to you. That typically does mean that you're going to end up saying no to this person, no to that experience, no to this, no to that. Being a yes does not always mean just say yes. If we're always saying yes, now we're basically falling into the trap of being, everything to everybody, of being that doormat, of being used up, you could say, versus saying no I'm not okay with that. No, I don't really want to go do this. No, I don't want to go do that. No, this is not cool. That's not cool. Being a yes to you means to get into alignment with right here. Get into alignment with who you are, what your heart wants, what your desires are, what your actual boundaries are in all areas. When I talk on boundaries, boundaries are, we have our physical boundaries, our sexual boundaries, our mental boundaries, our emotional boundaries, our spiritual boundaries. Lots and lots of boundaries out there. Some people go, what do you mean by boundaries? Those people go, you really need coaching. Because if you don't even know what the word boundary means, or I love it when I hear, I don't have any boundaries. A person who has no boundaries is probably a really big doormat. And that means that you can just walk all over them. There is no boundaries. That means that they don't know what their yes and their no is, and they don't even realize that they can say yes or no. So they basically just laid down to life, laid down to the people in their life, and just said, go ahead, stomp all over me. It's okay. I have no boundaries. So saying I have no boundaries is not necessarily a cool thing or a good thing. You should probably say, I have boundaries. Here are what my boundaries are. If you don't know what your boundaries are, it's time to start pushing in and questioning, inquiring, doing some work around boundaries so that you can actually experience what those are and get maybe like a little taster and go, all right, well, here's my boundary is right here. And yes, that's what my boundary is. Boundaries change, they ebb, they flow, they depend on who you're with, what's going on with that person, where you're at emotionally, mentally, physically, what's happening in your life. A boundary may be, you may have a really hard boundary on something, and then you might have a softer boundary which kind of sways around something else. That's perfectly normal, natural, healthy. And it's just really getting in tune to those and then realizing that part of being a yes always means to listen to those boundaries. Allow for the movement if you so choose to want to have the movement, or be strong and say, no, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not good with that. That can be a yes to you as well. So if you're wanting to truly access that orgasmic life, if you're wanting to truly access that orgasmic life, and you really want to have tons of abundance flow to you, being in alignment to yourself is where it's at. I mean, I did write an article a couple days ago, maybe it was Friday or Monday. I wrote an article and it was basically all on this, and it was all about being true to yourself and knowing yourself, and that was the only, that's like the key to manifesting anything that you really want, is to know yourself. As long as you're wavering inside, and you can tell a person who does not know their self very well, they'll be proclaiming that they want this and that and all this different stuff, and what it'll be is they'll be like, no, I know myself, but nothing will actually manifest very long term, or it just won't happen for them. They'll be pushing and nothing will happen, and then or they might have something happen, but they can't really get it to stick, you could say. And that's because they're trying to manifest other people's goals, desires, dreams, ideas, thoughts, all this different stuff. So they think that they know themselves, but they don't really know themselves. They're actually, like leaning in and mimicking, you could say, somebody else. And they're looking at these different things and they're like, well, that looks good, so I want that. And it's kind of like saying, man, my neighbor's house looks really good. I think I'm going to move in with them, and because I really like their living room furniture, and I really like this, and I really like that. But I know I can't move in with them, so I would like to move in with them. So I think I'm going to just visit them for like 3 hours every single day, and I'm going to pretend that their living room is my living room. Is that really going to work? What's your neighbor's going to do if you like move into your neighbor's house for 3 hours every day just so that you can pretend that their living room is like yours? That's the same thing if you don't know who you are, if you're not really lined up to the things that your heart wants, that you desire, and you're kind of wavering and borrowing from other people, you might get a little taster. You might be able to go knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, like go have a cup of coffee at your neighbor's house or something. You might be able to enjoy that living room here and there and get a feel for it and go, yeah, I like this. But at some point, you're going to actually have to go to the freaking furniture store and you're going to have to buy your own furniture set. You're going to have to paint your own walls. You're going to have to design your own living room. And it's not going to be exactly like your neighbor's, because it's not your neighbor's, it's yours, which makes it perfect for you. But it is that you have to go design it for you. And that is back to knowing who you are. The more you know who you are, the more you can be a yes to you. You can get ideas, concepts, all this different stuff from the people in your life, from the world around you. It really is like you're going through a catalog and you're just looking at the catalog and you're like, hey, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. You kind of throw it all together and you go, all of that looks really good. What really turns you on? What really attracts you? What really feels good to you in this moment? And that's what you have to look at. What feels good to you in the moment? And that really is quite literally the big secret of everything, is that know yourself, lean towards what feels good, be a yes to you, stop mimicking others, be a yes to you, know thyself, know thyself, know thyself, and allow your truth to actually come forward. Express yourself. Stop expressing what you think society wants. Stop expressing what you think your parents want to see. Stop expressing what you think your spouse wants to see. Stop expressing what you think your children need to see. Stop expressing what this person, that person, all these different things have told you that you should be, and allow yourself, your beautiful heart, to shine out and just be you. Just be you. It really is simple. It's not easy, but it really is simple, because who else are you going to ever be, right? The funny thing is that the majority of us run around trying to be somebody that we're not. We try to be something that we're not, and we won't just embrace who we are. And by doing that, we really are just preventing ourselves from having everything that we want. We prevent ourselves from really truly getting the things that we want in life, living the life that we want, having the harmony that we want, having that bliss, that orgasm in our life in multiple ways. Last night, Conscious Coffee always pulls in little tidbits from recent events in my life. And this is probably stemming actually from some conversations last night. But that, and I have so many people in my life that are going through the who am I phase, whether they know it or not. I see this it's like I have a massive amount of clients that are just trying to figure out who they are. And they're not coming in and going, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? How do I find myself? But it really is finding yourself. And we look all over for this person that we think we should be. And what ends up happening is that we really do end up like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, realizing that everything that we've been looking for is right in our own backyard, and that we don't have to go anywhere else but our own backyard. And in our own backyard is quite the adventure, because the adventure of meeting ourselves, the adventure of becoming ourselves, is such a great adventure. But last night, had a person over that I have not seen for like 3-4 years. And the share there was just this finding of self. And as we discussed different things and we're talking about different things and moving through different things, what kept coming up was that there's so much transformation going on in this person's life, and being stuck in this space of not knowing, and the depression that comes from it, and the loss and the uncertainty. And it's like really truly, and transformation does this to us. Transformation, that's why it's transformation, right? It really is the cracking open of the casing of the seed, so that the root can be birthed. And we think that transformation sounds sexy and hot and rule oh so this or that, right? Well, I'm going to go through a transformation process. I want to transform into this. And what we never realize is that the transformation process is fucking hard, scary, and basically knocks our legs out from underneath us and stomps on us prior to us transforming. It really beats the shit out of us. That's what transformation is. It is about us getting the shit beat out of us in a spiritual, emotional way, probably, and lots of different mental processes changing so that we can actually be birthed into something new. If you're doing a physical transformation, it's not fun either. I mean, think about it. You go to the gym, you work your butt off, you're not getting anywhere, you're sweating, you're hurting, your muscles are in pain, this is going on, you want to give up, you want to give up, you want to give up, and then finally you have a breakthrough. And you get a little bit of breathing, and then you go back into it like a different transformation process, but you keep processing, building muscle, learning your body, building strength, learning your body, and moving on. Every part of life is about transformation. It's how we choose to deal with it, how we choose to open up to ourselves or to close down to the world and to ourselves. And if you really truly want that orgasmic life, then what it is it's about the opening. It really is about that revealing, that cracking open of the shell so that you can start to root new things and develop and grow. But this particular person last night, as we were talking about things, I could tell like there's excitement in the idea of the transformation. There's so much fear in that transformation as well. And then there's all that was being harbored deeper inside, and that fear of not letting that pain be seen, of not letting themselves be expressed because they don't really truly know themselves in multiple ways. So the concept of, well, what should I do in a year from now? What should I do next week? What's my next move? What's my purpose? All these different things. What makes me happy? Like, really, what makes you happy? Those are all questions that you need to ask. If you want to have an orgasmic life, you need to go, what makes me happy? What brings me joy? What really turns me on in life? What excites me? What are the things that just make me go woo, right? That just make me giggle, make me excited. And then the next step is to really start looking at, like, what is my purpose? What's the meaning of my life? Why am I here? If I was looking at my life through heaven's eyes, through God's eyes, what would God be seeing in my tapestry as to my path, as to my true picture? Because we're so caught on those little moments. And I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before that I was talking about, like, being right up against the picture and everything. It's those right there that we get so caught in this that we don't realize that we need to step back. And in order to find ourselves, in order to really kind of take in everything, we have to go deep, we have to go internal, we have to ask ourselves questions, we have to get real with ourselves and go, well, no, actually, I've just been living this way or doing this or doing that because it was easy, it was comfortable, and it was in alignment to so-and-so. It was something that I thought that I wanted, but when I really get down to it, that's not really me, okay? And the reason why I'm kind of harping on that particular thing there is because I just got out of a relationship and I'm looking at my life of the last 6 years. And for a person who really does know herself quite well and preaches all the time and does all this different stuff to really truly live authentically, I'm being met with not humongous things, but little things on my in my day-to-day world where I'm noticing how much of me I gave up within the relationship, how much of me I actually sacrificed to have not to really eliminate resistance from my partner. So it might have been from the color on a wall to the certain layout of the bedroom to foods that I was choosing to eat consistently, attitudes that I chose to take in just as, like within the house, a certain energy that I would allow versus just who I am. And now being away from those energies, I get to meet myself all over again. And it's like, do I like this? Yes, no. Do I want this? Yes, no. And I don't have another person for the most part. I have family still around me, but I don't have anybody that I feel like I really need to like aim to please overly and do things in just alignment to them to make anything any other way. So it's like an opportunity to truly be me that is presenting itself. And as I meet myself every single day, it's not massive. I have been who I am forever, but there's like these little tweaks that I'm noticing, like, okay, this is really who I am, and this is what I enjoy, and this is what I don't enjoy. And that's okay. It's okay to change this. It's okay to do this. It's okay not to do that. It's okay to say no here. It's okay to say yes there. And that's really cool. But if you're wanting to have that abundant life, you're wanting to have that orgasmic life, how comfortable are you with the discomfort of saying no to that other person in your life, to the other people in your life, to maybe the way, somebody or some corporation is wanting you to be, to maybe you just kind of stand out in the crowd a little bit. Typically if you want an orgasmic life, if you have big dreams, lofty goals, all these different things, well, then that means that you're probably going to be standing out in the crowd. Maybe you're not out there like center stage, just with the spotlight shining on you going, okay, here I am. But you are going to stand out in the crowd of your life. There's going to be something different about you because you're claiming your life. And when you claim your life, you really do stand out. You make a statement by being you, because the majority of people are not themselves. The majority of people are sheep. Majority of people choose, no matter what they might want to believe, they choose to do things out of comfort. They choose to do things to keep things simple. They're afraid to actually make a stand and say, yes, this is who I am. Yes, this is what I want. Yes, this is the direction I'm going. Yes, this might be crazy. It might be really fucking crazy. But this is what is really turning me on. This is where my heart's desire is, and I'm going to follow it. I'm going to chase it. I'm going to go do it. It is just what I'm going to experience. And if I fail or if I succeed, does not matter. At least I'm doing what I want to do. And that is something that the majority of the world does not do. The majority of the Western world does not do that at all. And that's why so many people are depressed, sad, lost, going through multiple relationships quickly, or in relationships that they really just don't have any turn on to, that they're just not connected to, is because that they're trying to live in accordance to what is easy instead of what is true to themselves. So if you really want to have, that life of truth and turn on and excitement and adventure and abundance and everything, it comes back to saying yes to here, which often means saying no out here, and figuring out what your boundaries are, figuring out those things, figuring out what your true desires are, and really getting real with yourself, like fucking real with yourself, really real, really, 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 really real. I cannot say this enough, like massively, really real. If I could, I'd have like lights flashing right now, really real. Because if you think you're real with yourself, think again. If you're not manifesting what you want in your life, there's pieces of you that you're missing, or you're trying to pretend to be something that you're not. So that means that you're living according to somebody else's dreams, desires, goals, ambitions, and not your own. You're trying to attract somebody else's. I just want to yawn this morning. Somebody else's abundance in as your own, and it's not yours, so that's why it's not coming. And quite literally, how can you claim another person's stuff, another person's abundance, life, joy, bliss? You can't, but we tend to want to do that. Okay, so it's kind of like going to the neighbors and proclaiming that their living room is now your living room. It's not going to work. It really is not going to work. You're never going to move their living room into your living room. You're never going to have their living room. You have to go create your own living room and just let that be what that is, right? And that is yours. Create your own shit. Get right with your own shit. Stop trying to mimic, copy, pretend to be your neighbors or anybody else in your life that you might be trying to mimic, because that's really, truly never going to work long term for you. You might be able to get a little sample. You might be able to go, oh, that tastes good. That's yummy. I like the feel of that. I like the feel of this. But realize that you're just getting a taste. Okay? So you're just sampling something. And now you have to create the energy of your own and really truly get right with if you want it or not. Okay? So really getting into alignment with that. Because if you are copycatting somebody else, you're not ever going to get what you truly want. You're never going to be really truly happy long term or have the success that you want long term if you're trying to do that. So get right with who you are. Get right with your yeses. Be a yes to yourself always, at all cost. Say yes to you. Yes, yes, yes me. Yes me. Yes me. Yes me. Yes me. Quite literally. I want you to like right now go, yes me. Yes to me. Yes to me. Yes to me. Fuck yes to me. Fuck yes to me. I am a yes to the most important person on this planet. That person is me. Okay? Who's the center of the universe? Me. That's what I want you to say. I know that sounds like that is like, wow, Kendall, you've got a big head there. Think much about yourself? Yes. Yes. And I want you to think a lot about yourself. You're the most important person in your life. You are the center of your universe. If you're not the center of your universe, who the fuck is, and why are you circling around that person? Are they living their life for you? Are they bringing you joy? Are they doing those things for you? Can they truly make you happy? No, you're the fucking center of your universe. So be the center of your universe. And allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to get into alignment to yourself. Allow yourself to be a fuck yes to yourself. And stop looking at everybody else and everything else, because they're not the sun. You're the sun of your universe. Be that light for your life. Be that radiant, strong light for your life. Impact your life by making the decisions that you need to make for yourself. And always, 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 always say yes to you, because you really truly are the most important person in your life. Truly, truly the most important person in your life. So stop letting everybody else be more important than you. Because the reality there is that if you're not taking care of you, if you're not being true to you, if you're not saying yes to you, then what you're going to experience is you're going to experience a lot of drain, a lot of fatigue, unhappiness, depression, anxiety, all these different things, and you're not going to be worth dilly squat to anybody. So if you think that by putting somebody else first in your life ahead of you, and we're talking about physical beings, I'm like, it's God, you, everybody else. Okay? God, you, everybody else. If you can't get this right, then you're not going to be able to make the impact on everybody else in your life. You're not going to be able to help anybody. You're not going to be able to guide anybody. You're not going to be able to support anybody. You're not going to be able to be a light, have love, have anything. You're not going to be able to really even truly be able to love anybody else until you provide that love to yourself first. Provide the love, provide the forgiveness, provide the honor, provide the worship, everything to yourself first. God, you, everybody else. Who's the center of your universe? I want you to say it out loud in your own house. I want you literally to go, I'm the center of my universe. Wherever you're at right now, go, I'm the center of my universe. I'm fucking amazing. I'm the sun. Everything revolves around me. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. Start saying that. Take off the shame of being turned on to yourself, of loving yourself. Since when is it a bad thing to love yourself? Well, it's been a bad thing to love yourself in society for a long time. Everybody will say, love yourself much? Like, think too much of yourself there? Just a little bit thinking too much of yourself. Goodness, get off your high horse. You're not the center of the universe. Yes, I am. I'm the fucking center of my universe. There you go. Say it. Own it. Claim it. Be proud of it. And start making decisions from that point. Make decisions from that point. That does not mean that you're going to have a big head, that you're going to be going and doing stupid things, and yet you're all of a sudden going to be a bad person because you're claiming to be the center of your universe. Really, truly, it is your universe. Be the center of it. Be the center of it and start claiming the things that you want and start saying yes to you. It's okay to say yes to you, because by saying yes to you, you're also teaching and sharing and bringing light into this world. If we are not saying yes to us, we basically walk around with a cloud over our head the entire time. That's where all that negative, low vibe energy comes from. That dark heaviness comes from saying no to ourselves and saying yes to everything else, by taking ourselves out of the center of our universe and making everything else the center of our universe. If everything else is more important than us, then there will be nothing of us to share, to give, to offer, to connect with. And we'll lose ourselves. And once you lose yourself, well, you're a hell of a lot harder to find once you're lost than if you just get right with yourself right now and start claiming in your life. So claiming your life, ask yourself what feels good. Really, really get familiar with that and make yourself the center of your universe. So there you go. There's my 4th of July topic of the day. Stop fucking around. Stop mimicking everybody. Stop copycatting. Stop looking for all your answers in somebody else's backyard. And realize, much like Dorothy did, if you need, take a moment and watch just the last 10 minutes of The Wizard of Oz. And Dorothy laying there in bed and telling her grandmother about how she didn't need to go any further than her own backyard to find all her heart's desires. That's the message that you need to get. If she could come up with that as a little girl way back in the 30s, okay? If Judy Garland can say it, we can say it. And it really is about just not going past your own backyard, coming into yourself, and really truly tapping in to who you are and being right with whoever you are. Because you're perfect, you're radiant, you're glorious, you're worthy, you're one of God's children. You are the center of your universe. Claim your right to that center. Claim your worthiness. Claim your joy. Call in your blessings. Make that shit happen. Because the only way to make that shit happen is to open up your heart and love yourself and really truly expand who you are by being who you are. Okay? Just be you. Be you. Okay? So, I love you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope this was helpful. Definitely have a fantastic 4th of July today. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves. If you're not in the United States, happy 4th of July anyways, because I'm in the United States, so it's the 4th of July. And as always, just, go explore. I've got lots of courses coming out. I've got lots of stuff. I'm actually going to be having a boundaries course coming out in the next few weeks probably. And definitely look for that. It will come out. Get on my newsletter list. Sign up for my newsletter so that you have access to all the different things that are coming out there firsthand, because often they make it out in the newsletter before they make it anywhere else. So definitely get on there, explore that, like this page, share this video, get it out there, help everybody else claim their lives, have that impact on the world by pushing the share button and helping me put Conscious Coffee out there with positive messages first thing in the morning. And as always, stop existing and start living. Love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow around 6 o'clock. Bye.